woke up to my own reflection. Tired eyes, but they're still mine. Used to list all my imperfections, like I was standing in a courtroom line. Pulled the covers off the old excuses, kicked the doubt off of my bed. If I only get one purpose, I'll start with the voice in my head. I've been chasing every standard, running circles, wearing thin, but every road I ever followed leads me right back to my skin. Loving myself is my first mission. Day by day I make that decision. Every scar, every strange little vision, all of me on my own side now. Loving myself is my first mission. I'm the home, not just a position. If I fall, I get up with conviction. All of me on my own side now. I talk kinder in the mirror, like I'm calling up a friend. Say you don't have to earn your breathing, you don't have to always mend. I'm learning how to hold my boundaries, like a door I choose who gets through. If I give away all my power, what's left here for me and you? I won't beg for every heartbeat like it's something I must prove. I plant our roots in my own story, watch the shame start to lose. Loving myself is my first mission. Day by day I make that decision. Every scar, every strange little vision, all of me on my own side now. Loving myself is my first mission. I'm the home, not just a position. If I fall, I get up with conviction. All of me on my own side now. Oh, I'm not perfect, I'm in process. I'm a canvas dripping wet. Every line that's seen as too much is a part I won't forget. Oh, I'll be patient with my progress. I'll be gentle when I'm wrong. I'm the person I come back to. That's the center of the
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome back to the Empower Her Talk Show. I am your host, Coach Rita. I thought I would start the show out with this song. First and foremost, before I go there, I want to thank AOC and Cox Cable and LUS for this opportunity to grace your 6 parishes on your laptop, on your iPad, on your phone, and even on your television. Thank you guys so much. We have been going strong for a minute now, and I am so proud of all the information that I have shared with you guys. As you know, we were working out of one of my ebooks, but I want to take a break away from that because I think that song, Loving Me is My First Mission, can definitely go along with what we're going to be talking about tonight. And it's a subject and it's a conversation I've already had on my other platforms, but I thought I would bring it over here to the Empower Her Talk Show. A lot of things that I've talked about. I've talked about on my Rooted and Rising podcast that I do for Substack, and my Rooted and Rising radio show I do on Saturday mornings. So a lot of this stuff, I don't want to say it's recycled, but I want to kind of reiterate what it is and how important it is for us to talk about this. Now, today's conversation we're going to talk about women who are performing strength. Let me say that again. Women who are performing strength. Like, what does that mean? We're going to find out. So I was out filling out some paperwork, and the first thing they ask, they always look your name, address, and all that, and then they ask you what's your employment or your occupation. So for a moment, I sat there and I thought about all the hats that I wear. Yeah, all the hats that I wear. Radio host, talk show host, TV host, talk show host, um, uh, being a veteran, okay, being an author, being an entrepreneur, being an activist, okay. All of these things started to come to me. And being a coach, right? Being a speaker, a caregiver, right? All of these things start like, okay, mother, daughter, you know. So I'm trying to keep all this in my head, like, okay, so what should I do? And I stared there for a minute because I'm like, what should I put down there right now? Because I could pick any one of those, right? But they have to be pertaining to what they're asking as far as what is my occupation, right? I didn't have to look at it because but it really made me think about how many hats do I really wear? And why do I wear all these hats, right? And this is what I realized. I realized how much of my identity has become wrapped up in all the things I do for other people. Let me say that again. I realized how much my own identity have become wrapped up in what I do for other people. So where am I? Where are you? Because that's the question you need to ask. This is really, I always put myself in here, but it's not really about me. This is about you. Where are you? Where is your own identity? Have you lost your identity in the midst of helping everyone else? And in the midst of all of this, you'll see where we're going with this, okay? And then another thought came, and this other thought was, a question, when was the last time someone asked me, who am I? What do you mean by that? Maybe that's the question many of us have stopped asking ourselves. Who am I? Who am I when nobody needs me? Who am I when nobody calls for me? They have nothing for me to do. Who am I then? That's a question you have to ask yourself. Who am I when I'm not needed by anybody or anything, right? So we're going to talk about something that has quietly become an exception, an expectation for so many women. And you say, well, what is that? The pressure to be everything to everybody. So, I always have my little several points I have to make. So the first point I want to make is, when did strength become a performance? When did we come to the mindset to make strength a performance? So I want you to think about your average day. Before your feet hit the floor, You already know someone needs something. A text message comes through. A phone call happens. A child, a spouse, a parent, a client, a coworker, a friend. You move from one role to another almost without thinking. This is all before you wash your face, brush your teeth, take a shower. All of this, soon as your feet hit the floor, somebody is needing something from you. Okay? You're a problem solver before breakfast, a counselor before lunch, a professional during the day, a caregiver in the evening time. And somewhere around bedtime, you're expected to still have enough energy left to be present for yourself. So tell me, when does she get to simply be a woman? Not someone's answer, not someone's rescue, not someone's safe place, just herself. Now let's talk about the invisible job description, which I think is going to be very interesting. Can I tell you what I think has happened? Y'all listen. Many women are living according to a job description they never applied for. If you're like, what do you mean by that? It doesn't come with a paycheck. Nobody hands it to you. But somehow you have inherited. It says, be available, be patient, be understanding. Don't forget birthdays. Don't forget appointments. You got to keep the peace now, okay? Fix all these conflicts that are around you. Carry the emotional weight. Don't let anybody down. And if you're honest, you've been working this job for years without vacation, without retirement, without asking if even you wanted it. Think about that, guys. Let that settle with you. I like to use the word marinate. Let that marinate. An invisible job description. Okay, some of us have become human Swiss Army knives. Like, wait a minute, what do you mean by that? Watch this. Have you ever noticed how people began to see you? Not as a person, but as a solution. Need advice? Call her. Need encouragement? Call her. Need money? Call her. Need somebody to organize an event? She'll do it. Need somebody to pray? Need somebody to hold it all together? She always does. At first, it feels good to be needed. It feels meaningful, right? But over time, being needed can quietly become being consumed. Because the more capable you are, the more people expect from you. until one day you realize people know what you can do, but very few know what you're carrying. They know what you do, they know what you're good at, they know your expertise, but they don't see the backstory. They don't see the sleepless nights. They don't see the depression. They don't see the resentment. They don't see the dreams deferred. They don't see the lack of boundaries. So that's something to think about. Again, these are the things that I want you to marinate on. Next point I want to make is when love starts to feel like performance. Oh, so what do you mean by that? What do you mean love feels like performance? We're acting? Are you saying I'm in love with someone and I'm just acting? I've been with this person forever and I'm just acting? Hmm. Here's a question that has been sitting with me. What if we've been confused? Wait a minute. What if we've confused being loved, okay, with being useful? Let me say that again. What if we confused being loved with being useful? Some of us learned at a very early age that praise came after performance. After you did something, that was a good little girl, and you curtsy with your dress up and say, "Thank you, mommy. Thank you, daddy." You were the responsible one, the helper, the peacemaker, the overachiever, the dependable one. If I keep being everything to everybody, they'll keep loving me. Validation. I seek validation through the things that I do because if they validate me, then I'm feeling loved. I'm being loved. But real love doesn't require constant proving. Real love doesn't disappear because you needed a day to rest. If someone only values what you produce, they don't really know you. They know your usefulness. Let me say that again because I think that's like, they don't really know you. They just know your usefulness. Okay? And you have to understand there is a difference in that. They don't know you personally, even though they think they do. They just know how useful you can be to them. Okay? The woman who doesn't know what she likes is my next point. Okay? Can I ask you something that might sound real, real simple? What do you enjoy? Reading a book, coloring, painting, making something, grandchildren, my children, my husband, walking the dog, sitting on the beach. What do you truly, truly enjoy? Now, what are you good at? Now, what are you responsible for? Not what pays the bills, what brings you delight? When was the last time you did something simply because it made your heart smile? I'll give you an example. The day before yesterday, I think I have I'm going to share this with you guys. I think I have a problem. And you say, what is that? I love clothes and shoes, right? So I'm on a mission of getting rid of stuff. I'm trying to get rid of everything I think I can get rid of, right? That I have no more detachment to, right? So I go and I put together everything. I put my shoes, a big old huge bag of shoes and jewelry, because I love my jewelry. Yes, I made these. Aren't they gorgeous? Um, so because I make jewelry, I can create my own jewelry. Um, there's no need for me to keep piling up jewelry. So I got a big box of jewelry, and I said, I think I want to take it to the women's battered shelter for women who probably work and, they want to look nice. They have nice shoes. Because I gave away like my favorite shoes. I just gave them away. So you say, what that has to do with making your heart smile? Dropping off those items brought a peace over me. And let me tell you why. Because I always do this. This is not something I just started doing. I've been doing this for a long time. I love giving back. I love being able to help people because I know what it is. The homeless portion of it, I know what that is. Okay? So I thought that it would be good for me to give back. And I'm not saying this to brag about anything. I'm just saying the question was, and I'm giving you my example of what made my heart smile. When we drove off away from that place, it was like a huge, like, peace just washed over me. And I felt so satisfied. That's what brought me joy. So that's the reason why that question is so important. And when was the last time you did something simply because it made your heart smile? That's the question. Some women can't answer that. And we're sitting here talking about it, but we really don't realize that is the truth. Some women can't answer when was the last time they did something that them made their heart smile. And it's not because they're boring, it's because they've spent so many years responding to everyone else's needs that they haven't had time to rediscover their own. That's where we're at in this busy, busy world we live in. That is where we're at now. So another big word that comes into here is survival, because survival is a big part of this. It plays a part in how we navigate through this life we're living. Okay? Survival has a way of convincing you that your preferences don't matter. You're like, what do you mean by that? If you're so busy surviving, okay, you're busy surviving, you don't have time to see what you prefer to do, how you prefer to rest. It doesn't give you that option in this survival arena, right? But healing gently whispers, maybe it's time you ask yourself again, what brings you joy? What makes your heart smile? Now let's talk a little bit about the cost of being everything, right? I don't think the greatest cost is exhaustion. I think it's invisibility. Are you saying, what are you saying? What does that mean? Not the kind where people don't see you, the kind where you stop seeing yourself. I'm going to say that again. Not the kind where people don't see you, okay? It's where you stop seeing yourself. You become so identified with your roles that you forget your essence, who you truly are. You remember everyone's favorite meal, but you forgot your dreams. You know everyone else's schedule, but you stop making time for your own soul. You know how to comfort everyone else, right? But you've forgotten what comforts you, right? That's a heartbreaking trade, right? Because somewhere along the way, you've become indispensable for everyone else except yourself. So, next, what if you stop performing? What do you mean? I'm not performing. Oh, let's talk about it. When, what if you stop performing? What do you think is going to happen if you stop doing all these things that you do for everybody? Let's imagine something together. Let's put this together, right? What if for 1 week, 1 week, you stop trying to be everything? 1 week. It's not irresponsible, not careless, just honest. What if you admitted that you were tired before you became resentful? What if you asked for help before you reached your breaking point? What if you let someone else solve a problem they created? What if you stop apologizing every time you chose yourself? And I've heard people say that. I'm sorry, but I had to do it for me. I had to go and take care of this. What do you apologize for? It's for you. There's no need to apologize. And see, this is what is sometimes the things that we don't want to talk about when it comes to us, because we are performing all the time. Even in our sleep, we are performing. Okay? We have to get up and say, one day, I'm not doing anything for anybody today. I'm turning off my phone, right? And I'm going to spend this whole day or two or three on me. Now, it's not going to always be the people that you do everything for. It's going to be you. You're going to be the problem because you have allowed yourself to be for everyone else but you. So I think it would be a problem for you. I think you would be your worst enemy at a time like that if you've never done it before. I really believe that. I believe you would be your very worst enemy in a situation like that, where you refuse to do anything for anybody. If you have, first of all, let me say this: if you have a newborn and you have to be there for your newborn, that's a different story. A little kid, that's a different story. But if you have a husband or a significant other, then they need to step in and do the work for those 3 days. Just put it out there. They said a week. Let's see, right? Sometimes we carry things because we've convinced ourselves that we're the only ones who can. We're the only ones who can do everything. Nobody else can do it but me. I've seen I've seen women get upset because they're so used to doing it all, get upset when they can't do it all. Get upset because they can't do it all. Because they have been indoctrinated and they have convinced themselves that nothing can be done without them. So they get very upset because they're not the one who's doing it. That's scary. That right there is very, very scary. So, before I end this discussion, I want to leave you with this. And then we're gonna talk about the ebook. I definitely thought this would be something we definitely need to discuss. I want you to think about one question. If all your titles disappeared tomorrow, who would still be standing? Who, not what would remain on your resume, who would remain in your soul? Would she know how to laugh? Would she know what she loves? Would she know what makes her feel alive again? Or has she been hidden underneath years of responsibility? So this week, I want you to spend 10 quiet minutes with yourself. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to uh, talk. You don't have to do anything. No phone, no television, no list of things to do, no agenda, just you alone. 10 minutes. Use your timer on your phone. 10 minutes. And ask yourself, what have I been needing that I've been too busy to given to everyone else? Let me repeat that again. What have I been needing that I've been too busy giving to everyone else? Maybe the answer is rest. Maybe it's kindness. Maybe it's forgiveness. Maybe it's permission. Whatever it is, stop ignoring her. She's been waiting a long time for you to come back. Before I end this discussion, I want to say this. The world will always have another role for you to play or to feel. Another expectation, another request, another reason to stretch yourself thinner than you should. But your soul will never it was never designed to become a storage place for everyone else's needs. You're allowed to be a whole woman, not just a useful one. You're allowed to have limits. You're allowed to say, I can't. You're allowed to disappoint expectations if it means staying connected to yourself. Because the women who change the world aren't the ones that become everything to everyone. They're the ones who finally remember who they are. So I want to say thank you. Thank you for allowing me to share this with you at this very moment. And I definitely hope this conversation has touched someone and that you start thinking of yourself and the roles that you play in your life every day. So, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to play a song for just a moment, and then we're going to be back. I'm just going to take a small break.
I tell myself I'm done, I walk away, but your gravity pulls me back every day. Love's a circle I can't break free. No matter the hurt, you're still home. Return to you, even when it hurts, even when it's wrong. Back to you is where I belong. Back to you, no matter what I do. Like the tide to the ocean, I return to you, even when it hurts, even when it's wrong. Back to you is where I belong.
Tried new routes, but they all collide. Right at the place where you still reside.
had my mute button on. All right. Okay, I'm back. So we got a few more minutes, so I'm going to definitely, we're going to talk we're going to continue our discussion from our book we were doing called Inner Strength, Developing Emotional Intelligence for Everyday Life. Remember, we were talking about that last time. Every now and then, I'm going to bring in these small discussions because I think it's very important. Because I know you guys are not on all my platforms, so I know for sure I can get you guys over here with some of the stuff that I talk about. Definitely, you can go to AOC and watch this again, but you can also go to YouTube. YouTube is going to also be on there. So we talked a little bit um, of how important emotional intelligence is, dealing with everyday life, going through different things in our lives. We learned the emotional intelligence is very, very, very important. How we handle people, how people handle us. So we're going to be going through this. We learned the last time the components of emotional intelligence. We know about self-awareness, self-regulation. Um, uh, I forgot what the other one is. Let me think real quick. Empathy. All these are part of how we're looking at the importance of emotional intelligence. So the role of self-awareness, I think we talked about recognizing your emotions the last time. I don't think we need to go over that again. I think we're going to be on chapter 3. But let's go ahead and go back over here again. Let's go ahead. So the role of self-awareness, recognizing your emotions. Recognizing your emotions is a crucial step. See me? I got to do this a little bit. Okay. Recognizing your emotions is a crucial step in developing emotional intelligence. Many adults go through life without fully understanding their emotional responses, which can lead to misunderstandings and conflicts in relationships. By taking time to identify and acknowledge our feelings, we empower ourselves to respond more effectively to the situations we face. This process not only enhances our self awareness, but also fosters deeper connections with others. Emotions can be complex and multifaceted, often intertwining with thoughts and behaviors. Mindfulness practices encourage us to observe our feelings without judgment, allowing us to explore the root causes of our emotions. For instance, feeling anxious might stem from an unaddressed fear or past experience. By recognizing these triggers, we can begin to address the underlying issues and navigate our emotional landscapes more effectively. Journaling is an excellent tool for recognizing emotions. By regularly writing down our thoughts and feelings, we can track patterns and gain insight into our emotional states. This practice can reveal how certain situations or interactions consistently affect us. Additionally, reflecting on our emotions help to clarify our needs and desires, enabling us to communicate more openly in our relationships. This also is when we talk about triggers and shadow work, which is the next book that we're talking in right now. We're discussing shadow work now in our next book. Um, and one of the things we will be getting into, I don't think we got to the trigger part yet, but we are getting into triggers. Um, Engaging in conversations about emotions with trusted friends or family can also be beneficial. Sharing our experiences not only validates our feelings, but can also provide new perspectives through these discussions, right? We learn that we are not alone in our emotional struggles. What fosters resilience and strengthens our interpersonal skills, it becomes evident that recognizing emotions is not merely a personal endeavor, but a communal one as well. Ultimately, recognizing our emotions is the foundation for emotional intelligence. It lays the groundwork for developing resilience and improving our relationship as we become more attuned to our feelings. We can navigate life challenges with greater ease. The journey of emotional recognition is ongoing, but with practice, it can lead to profound personal growth and enhanced emotional well being. Understanding triggers and responses. Wow. Understanding triggers and responses is a fundamental aspect of emotional intelligence that can significantly enhance our self awareness and interpersonal skills. Triggers are events or stimuli that provoke emotional reactions, often revealing our underlying beliefs and past experiences. This is also shadow work. By identifying what triggers specific responses in ourselves and others, we can begin to dismantle automatic reactions and cultivate a more mindful approach to our emotions. Recognizing these patterns allow for a greater understanding of our emotional landscape, paving the way for personal growth and resilience. If you know yourself, authenticity is so important. When you know yourself, nothing else matters. You'll be able to actually understand everything that is going on around you once you learn who you are. And that's the brick wall that some of us are at. We don't like talking about ourselves, and we don't like looking in the mirror. I always tell my class, I have a mirror sitting here, so I have to look at it every now and then. Not out of vanity, but I look at it because I have to look at me, right? And how I'm doing things and how I respond. And let me tell you something, I stay in my head so much that I drive myself crazy, okay? Because I'm always trying to make sure that I am being my authentic self, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's the light side of me or the dark side of me. It's me. Me and my imperfections, I can say they're mine. I can own up to it. I can't blame anybody else, and it's nobody else's fault that I am who I am. I have to take that responsibility. And a lot of adults don't like doing that for some reason. I don't know. Responses to triggers can vary can vary widely among individuals, influenced by personal history, context, and emotional intelligence. Some may react with anger or frustration, while others might withdraw or become anxious. These reactions are often habitual, formed through past experiences, and reinforced over time. By practicing mindfulness, we can pause and reflect before reacting, allowing us to choose our responses more consciously. This space for reflection is critical for developing a healthier way to handle emotional stimuli. Okay? Mindfulness meditation serves as an effective tool for enhancing our awareness or trigger responses. So lots of times when someone takes you there, you know what I'm saying, takes you there, this is the time for you to say, you know what, how am I going to respond to that? Am I going to have a grip on how I respond to that, or else I'm going to explode? Because sometimes, and then sometimes when you explode, maybe that is the point you need to be at. Could be. I don't want to sit here and make this sound like you always have to be in control of everything, because sometimes it comes unexpected. I'm saying when you can control it, control it. So you build up that resilience to be able to control it, basically. It takes a lot of practice and it takes a lot of repetition in order to do this. Okay? So, through regular practice, we learn to observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment, creating a sense of distance from our automatic reactions, right? This practice encourages us to explore the root causes of our emotional responses, fostering a deeper understanding of ourselves as we become more attuned to our inner experiences. We can react with intention rather than impulse, enhancing our emotional resilience. A lot of us as grown-ups, as adults, have no control over our emotional intelligence at all. You know why I can say that? When we get angry about stuff, how we lash out, how we crash out, how we become violent, right? Right? how when we hurt other people, there's no empathy. There's more apathy than it is empathy. That tells me there's no control. Let's talk about conflict resolution. We have none of that. That's why it's easy for us to be snapping people up and being nasty to people. We have no control over that. And some of us really don't want it. They like being that way, but that's not how we're supposed to be. Okay. And now that I pay more attention to emotional intelligence, it makes me sometimes feel small if I don't use mine. Doesn't mean I have to use it all the time, but yes, using it is very important. So, in relationships, understanding triggers is essential for effective communication and connection. When we recognize what triggers emotional responses in ourselves and our loved ones, we can approach interaction with empathy and compassion, right? This understanding allows us to create a supportive environment where open dialogue can flourish, right? By addressing triggers, we can reduce misunderstandings and conflicts, ultimately strengthening our interpersonal relationships and fostering a deeper connection, because this is what we want to do. Ultimately, the journey of understanding triggers and responses is a continuous process that requires patience and commitment. As an adult learner, engaging in the exploration can lead to significant personal transformation and improved emotional intelligence. By cultivating mindfulness and self awareness, we empower ourselves to navigate the complexities of our emotions and relationships, fostering resilience and enriching our lives. Okay, so let's talk about the benefits of self reflection real quick here. Self reflection is a powerful tool that allows individuals to delve deeper into their thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. By taking the time to evaluate personal experiences, one can gain valuable insights that foster self awareness. This increased awareness is the first step toward understanding how our actions affect both ourselves and those around us. As an adult learner, embraces self-reflection can significantly enhance our journey towards emotional intelligence and resilience. One of the primary benefits of self-reflection is the opportunity for personal growth. When we reflect on our experiences, we can identify patterns in our behavior that may not serve us well. This process enables us to make informed decisions about how to change those patterns, ultimately leading to a healthier relationship and an improved interpersonal skills. By consciously reflecting on our interactions, we cultivate empathy and a deeper understanding of others' perspectives. Additionally, self reflection promotes mindfulness, which is essential for managing stress and anxiety. Engaging in reflective practices allows us to slow down and be present in the moment. This mindfulness helps us to respond to situations more thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. By integrating self reflection with mindfulness techniques, we can develop a more balanced approach, to life's challenges, enhancing our emotional resilience. Furthermore, self-reflection encourages accountability. When we take time to assess our actions and decisions, we learn to own our mistakes and successes alike. Be balanced with that. This sense of accountability fosters trust in our relationships as others can see our commitment to personal growth. By being open about our reflections, we create a space for constructive dialogue with those around us, which is vital for healthy interpersonal dynamics. So, in conclusions, the practice of self reflection is instrumental in the development of emotional intelligence and resilience. By regularly engaging this practice, adult learners can unlock new levels of self awareness, personal growth, mindfulness, and accountability. These elements are not only contribute to individual well-being, but also it enhances our relationships with others, ultimately leading to a more fulfilling life. So this is what's so important. Excuse me. This is what's so important about us as women. Um, of how we control how we interact with other people and how we control ourselves, because this is about us being in control and being accountable for the things we say and do. Sometimes this is, like I said earlier, this is a long drawn out practice. It takes a lot to do this. And I say to any woman who wants that change, they're going to do it. When we did this in our class, when we did this book in our class, my class literally started seeing the things. They started paying attention to how they do things, how they interact, how they react, right? When they do stuff. So this book actually brought them around, kind of opened their eyes to a lot of things that they saw that was affecting them, right? And how important it is for us to pay attention to how we do react in relationships, in situations, when when issues come about, how do we react to those issues? And a lot of times, because we automatically go back, or we're reflecting on the bad things or something that triggered this situation to happen, we don't know how to bring it forward to where we can deal with it, right? And this is why emotional intelligence needs to be recognized and the importance of it. How do I need to react to this? If someone was to say something that I know triggered something deep down inside me, first thing we do, we want to quickly react. Well, emotional intelligence tells us, okay, let me break this down. Let me see how I can respond to this without it sending me over the edge. Yes. So the next thing we'll talk about is chapter 3, which is going to be talking about developing self-regulation. So, this is going to be a good one. Techniques for managing our emotions. So yes, this is definitely going to be a good one. So I'm going to stop sharing now. And I really, really, really enjoyed this today. This was awesome. So I am going to go ahead and let you guys go. I want to say thank you so much for this opportunity to the Empower Her talk show. And I hope you guys have learned something today. Um, it just brings joy to me that the things that we talk about on here, I'm hoping that it's helping someone. You guys know how to contact me. If you want to email me, you can email me at youcan'tclipmywings.com. You can email me at my name, SalitaBMcCall@gmail.com. You can check me out here on my YouTube channel. Definitely, definitely go down through the shows I've already done and the conversations I've already had. And you can also see some of my classmates, my students in my class. So I'll see you guys here next Thursday. Bye-bye.